Coming up next on Adventurer, a man who twice ran for President of the United States and whose name also happens to be on this network. More when we return. Welcome to Adventurer, the show where people truly push their lives to the limits. No talking heads here, just the real deals. I'm your host, Jim Clash. Our guest, Steve Forbes, twice ran for president. While he didn't win, he did push the limits of politics with his ideas, including the flat tax. Steve also has a funny side. In 1996, he hosted Saturday Night Live. Steve, thanks for coming back.
Good.
Listen, this is a question, I really want to ask this question. I remember you've done something that I've always wanted to do in my life, and it's not run for president. Back in 96, you hosted Saturday Night Live. Tell us what that was like, how they got you to do it, and just what you remember about it.
Well, they asked me if I would do it after I got out of the race in 96. And since I never got beyond a chorus line and 10,000 people in school plays, I never got beyond playing a rock or something in the background.
Right.
Being a TV host, hey, why not? Thankfully, I kept my day job, but it was great fun. You meet on a Tuesday around a table, bat around ideas. They do scripts, rough scripts overnight. Wednesday, they discuss them even more. Thursday, you start rehearsing some of these things, seeing what works. Friday it gets intense, Saturday even more intense. Then Saturday night, amazingly, when you first at 8 o'clock, you do a 2-hour show before a live audience.
So it's a preview show.
It's a preview show to see what works. Then after 10 o'clock, when that's over, you meet in the producer's office and you cut out a half hour to be able to go on at 11:30. It is live, it's not taped in advance. So at 11:30 at night, you go on. If you goof it, it's there for everybody to see.
Mr. Forbes, I assume you've read this so-called fictional account of the Republican primary?
Yes, I have, Ted.
Then I assume you're familiar with this passage. Millionaire Steve Forbes was a maverick candidate who had Washington insiders running scared. He also had an undeniable animal magnetism that drove the ladies crazy.
So some of the skits got cut that you were in, that you had worked on in that first rehearsal.
Yeah, and that's the way they do it. They do 2 hours, get it down to 1.5 to get in time for the show, and off you go.
And your whole family was in it, right?
That's what was fun. They allowed the 5 girls and my wife Sabina to be part of it. You wouldn't recognize them because they had them in wigs and costumes and the like. And Moira, my daughter Moira, got to say a couple of words like hello. And under the union rules, if you say words, you get paid. You get
it's like $600 or something like that?
A few
scale
hundred.
Or something?
Yeah, and so you get, for years now, she's gotten a little royalty. Each year it goes down when they do the reruns. Mine's down to about $3.95 a year, and hers is down to about 83 cents. But each year I get a little royalty check when they do.
Do you cash it, or do you?
Of course, I'm Scottish. I'm
Scottish, right? Not Scottish is crap, as they said on Saturday Night Live.
Leave the money to them. No, if they want to give it to me, I'll take it.
Does anyone ever call you Steve Forbes anymore?
From time to time, sure. That was a part of sketch on the show.
And Leave Norbs was another part of the sketch, on the Nightline sketch. That was hysterical, I got to tell you. You have a great sense of humor.
Well, the one that people really remember is the one about the roofer, where people did not recognize me. They put on this wig, bald head and the like.
And you had cigarettes.
Didn't smoke them. But Mayor Blumberg, take note. But that was fun, too. It really came together.
But let's talk about your latest book, The Flat Tax Revolution, Using a Postcard to Abolish the IRS. I mean, tell us simply, I think it's a 17% tax that you're...
Yeah, what it does is take the whole 9 million word code, throw the thing out, which nobody understands anyway, replace it with a simple code, tax, one rate, 17%, on the individual side or apply after generous deductions for adults and for children. Family of 4, for instance, no federal income tax on your first $46,000 of income, only 17% above that. No tax on your savings, no death tax. I always say you should be allowed to leave the world unmolested by the IRS. On the business side, cut the profits tax to 17%, no more depreciation schedules. You could literally do the thing on a single sheet of paper. 15 countries, mostly in Europe.
Which are some of the countries?
Europe. Russia, Ukraine, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia. Kyrgyzstan is doing it now, Serbia, Georgia. Hong Kong's done a variation of it for 60 years. Wherever it's been tried, it works.
Where does it stand right now with the powers that be? You've been the real maverick behind this, and I've heard it all over the place from other people now. Where does it stand? Is there a chance?
I think so. I think it's going to be an issue, certainly tax simplification to the 2008 presidential election. I think the American people are for it. They just don't believe it can happen. But if a presidential candidate comes across as credible on simplifying the tax code, I think there'd be overwhelming support for it. We know it's a waste of brain power, time, and everything else.
Well, I got to ask you, would you ever run for president again?
No, I gave it a try. Tried to make that midlife career change. It did not work out. So my role now is agitator, stirring the pot, trying to push issues like the flat tax.
How about SNL? Would you host Saturday Night Live again?
Oh, if asked, sure. Get a nice fee again for years to come, maybe.
And I guess, I know you have some hobbies, but there's one in particular I know I've talked to you about before. You like to ride bikes. Is it Butterfield and Robbins and some of these different companies? Tell us a little bit about
Butterfield and Robinson, VBT, Backroads, there are several groups that do it. And what's so nice about it, especially for a person like me who likes everything done, is they do the logistics. They provide the bikes, provide the helmets, provide the van to take care of it if something happens. They do the logistics and ranging ins and all of that. So there are about 15, 20 people get together. You don't know who they are, but they all have a passion for this thing. And it's great fun. And the nice thing about it is you get to tour in a way you never would before, and you get to eat as much as you want guilt-free. You've earned it.
You're burning off the calories, right?
Well, you don't burn them all off. That's the amazing thing. But you feel you've earned it.
Yeah.
You're entitled to it.
Well, you don't know any of the people beforehand, but what do they think when they see, oh my God, there's Steve Forbes in our group? Do they treat you any differently? Or?
No, they're
Really?
very, very, very civilized about it, and no one tries to be a hot dog, a Lance Armstrong. If you want to do that, there are other tour groups for that kind of heavy duty.
More extreme stuff.
People just want to have a good time. See the scenery, bike at your own pace. It's a nice way to do it.
Steve, we've had a good time having you on. Thank you so much for coming on the adventure. You really have pushed your life and politics to the limits. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Enjoyed it.
Again, worldwide Steve Forbes. I'm Forbes adventurer Jim Clash. To read my column, pick up Forbes magazine or click on Forbes.com/adventurer. And thanks for watching the Forbes Video Network.